when you step out, if you don't feel good about it, if it doesn't match who you are, you're immediately walking into the world feeling like an imposter. It's impossible to be successful if you don't feel like yourself when you step out the door.
It's a double-edged sword.
Fitting into something you're not hurts your performance, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right? Like that messes your mindset up, right?
Yeah.
So if you are someone who likes to express themselves or wear certain clothes or colors, taking that away from you or taking that ability away from you limits who you are as a human, in my opinion.
Yep.
Right? And it's these guardrails that we need to create for organizations, our people, and no matter if it's a sports team, a business, a school, schools have uniforms, it puts internally, you should do it in a way that gives the people some enthusiasm, right? And some excitement to dress. And I'm going to talk about Travis Kelce again, but like Travis Kelce, the way that he showed up to the Super Bowl, I would never allow it, right? Like you allowed it to be bigger than what the actual moment was.
Right.
You made it about you and not about the team or showing up in a suit. Like you made that a runway. And the NBA does that now, where they show up in designer clothes.
Ryan Clark does a whole series.
The
of
NFL and the NBA, like they are constantly making the pregame about what you're wearing in the fashion.
I would love because I know my experience with it, but you have been a part of a couple teams. And how did you guys decide on what you would wear to travel?
Well, so when I first got involved with college football at Florida State, the expectation was that you were going to wear a sweatsuit, right? A team issued Nike sweatsuit.
I still have one of those. Right?
And that was
hard to get, man.
That was, everybody wanted it.
Right.
It was super cool. And then when Jimbo took over as the head coach and moved us in a different direction, it was non-negotiable. You were going to wear a shirt, a tie, and a blazer, sport coat. And if you didn't have one, team was going to provide you one. Team was going to make sure that you had that.
Show up to work.
Well,
man.
because it was a mindset, right? You were going on a business trip. And the way you dress should then inform that. So it goes back to this idea of like dressing for the occasion, right? And what are you trying to do today? In the Bible tells you to put on your armor every day by reading the word, right? I liken that to what you wear every day. When you step out, if you don't feel good about it, like you said, like if it doesn't match who you are, you're immediately walking into the world feeling like an imposter. It's impossible to be successful if you don't feel like yourself when you step out the door.
It's a double-edged sword, and you bring up a really good point. So I was wearing these blazers, jeans, and sneakers. I fly to Kentucky to work with a company, and I light them on fire. They had 6 of their top dealers there with 3 or 4 people, and it was an amazing 3 hours. The feedback was great, and I didn't hear back from the client. And I waited. I finally reached out, and they said, "Hey, what's up? I haven't heard from you, but everybody there is like wants more and whatever." They go, "You wore jeans." And I was like, and they go, "We have an IBM culture, and jeans are just forbidden. And nobody could get over the fact that you walked into the corporate office wearing jeans." Now, they were, more expensive than most people's suits. But the reality was they were making a decision on my clothing, not what I did.
Yep.
Even though I lit it up, they said best presentation and all like that, which instantly made me know I was not a fit for them.
Right.
Well, that's the key point, right? Is when do you bend your policy so much to cater to your people, or when do you hold strong in saying maybe you're not a fit for us, right?
And so that the thing you have to do then is be super crystal clear on your identity.
Right.
If you don't know who you are, you're going to constantly then try to have everybody else tell you who you are and fit into everybody else's version of who you think you are. Only you can define what's right for you. And then you got to be unbelievably confident about that. You were okay going, excellent. you're going to disqualify the content because of what I was wearing, you and I would never work well together. Thank you for allowing me to figure that out up front, rather than trying to find out, well, what does this company wear? What's their dress code? I'll fit into them. Then they want to work together. Now you're like, oh, I got to put on pants all the time and I got to be like this all the time. You make yourself miserable for what?